You are watching St. Joseph Mustangs baseball here on YouTube. We are coming to you live from Phil Welch Stadium in St. Joseph, Missouri for a non-league matchup between your St. Joseph Mustangs and the St. Joseph Allstars. I'm Truman alongside with me tonight, Jackson Phelps, and your Mustangs are fresh off a 3-1 road trip and now home for their last four-game homestand of the summer before the playoffs. And Jackson, I mean, tonight's just all about having fun. You know, welcome to the St. Joe All-Stars. Just another one of those St. Joe alumni night that, you know, it's just a nice time to bring the kids, bring the family out to the ballpark and watch your Mustangs, you know, have a little fun. Pitchers are going to be hitting, hitters are going to be pitching, you know. There'll definitely be some meme-worthy moments, but it should be a fun time tonight.
It really should. You know, fresh off the away stand, like you mentioned, Truman, you know, a lot of tensions rising, especially going 3-1 once again, taking one loss in the road stand. Just looking to come into this homestand with a fresh start, and it really helps that they're going to be getting a little bit of a fun time to kind of just loosen up the spirits a little bit. You know, this is all about going to be the team chemistry type of night for these guys to just have fun, enjoy each other. We're going to get to see some funny moments here tonight as well. It'll be fun to call it, but hey, in these types of games, you know, there's still a lot of things to learn. But as far as the ballpark, you got a bunch of youth league baseball teams coming out. It's all about the fun, having family and friends out. It's going to be a great environment tonight at Phil Welch.
It should be a great environment. Mustangs lineup is being announced right now, and we'll get to them shortly. But coming off a road trip, just back at the Welch. As June, the calendar winds down, and we prepare to flip the calendar to July. But we've got Mustangs baseball for you next, but we'll step aside. First pitch coming up next. Trevor McCollum makes his first start of the summer, might be his only start. You never know if he impresses tonight. Johnny Coy might give him more opportunities, but the usual outfielder for St. Joe makes his first start. And Jackson, it's just an exciting opportunity. Again, we talked about in the open, the fun that's going to be had tonight, but just an exciting opportunity for Trevor McCollum to just throw some pitches and get up on the bump.
It really is. You know, this may or may not be true, but some of the guys saying upper 90s fastballs, got one of the best Vulcan changeups we've seen in the game, a knuckleball that no one can really touch. I mean, McCollum really is all assets of the game. The pitching really speaks volumes from him, and he's going to get his first chance on tonight on the mound. But all jokes aside, McCollum, this is just going to be a good opportunity for him, to just get a new look, and all these guys in the field as well. Just to have another fun side of baseball, And what a throw from Johnson there is Jace Johnson, the catcher. That's going to be another hard position to fill there, but we'll get into more of the defensive lineups. But a good start here for McCollum.
Now we get a look at the St. Joe All-Stars lineup. They're batting 13-9. It'll be Dalton Henter, Ethan Bayer, Brooke Baller, Jake Bigham, Drew Picara, Corey Blake, Jackson Gregory, Austin Burnham, Brody Estes, Dan Montgomery. And the lineup's finally rounded out by Lane Thornhill, Greg Schlellhorn, and Cody Vaughn. But we are underway here at Phil Welch. And the first one's lined right in a nice leaping grab made by not Justin George or Jane Little, but Landon Reith.
Ooh, look at Landon Reith getting up there. And what a grab that was from him. Just really got up onto the ball. I mean, he's got a little bit of height. Looked a little Jaden Little-esque out there at first, but what a play.
They say pitchers are the best athletes. Well, we're really going to get to see that tonight with all usual pitchers playing at every position. Now the second pitch of the game grounded to Michael and Franca at second base, and it's 2 pitches, 2 outs for Trevor McCollum.
These pitchers are just making it look too easy out on the field. They've seen enough of these balls off their arms go out into the field, so they're thinking, hey, might as well just get some practice. And what a start from McCollum. 2 pitches, 2 outs. He's looking real comfortable just throwing strikes and doing what he's asked.
Very efficient so far. As his arm gets warmed up, we will see that velo increase. He doesn't want to go all out, but definitely looking to put a smile on all these fans' faces as it's Brooke Baller. It's a baseball name if I have ever heard one in the 3-hole tonight.
This is a nice name. Baller? That's an awesome sports name in general.
Going to be a heavy dose of fastballs from McCollum. Rocks a Wilson A2000 glove, and that 1-1 chopped in front of the plate. Jace Johnson picks it up, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for McCollum, or they're going to say it's a foul ball. Home plate umpire let the play out, but indeed calls it a foul ball. Tough call right there, but says it hit Baller in the box.
Yeah, a tough play, just kind of hit on that chalk around the feet area of a Baller, but hey, McCollum's really giving him some tough pitches to look at, and just doing overall, like we mentioned, just doing a good job. Fastball's coming in nice off the hands. It hasn't been too erratic, so good start.
So saying McCollum with that Wilson A2000, a glove that I actually have in my car right now. A little bit more worn than McCollum's. I've seen his. His is still pretty shiny. These guys keep their gloves in great condition, but it's a glove that served me well.
I rock a Rollins Heart of the Hide gold glove, I believe.
There's a 2-2 changeup outside corner, and Trevor McCollum his first career strikeout with the Mustangs, and it's a 1-2-3 first for the normal outfielder. As the All-Stars go in order, no hits, no runs, nobody left on. We're headed to the bottom of the first here at Phil Welch. Ethan Bayer on the mound for the St. Joe All-Stars. Righty with a definitely slow windup. Won't overpower you with velocity, but can get hitters out. And he'll get out a lineup tonight for the Mustangs made up of entirely pitching. As it's Sam Pitts in the leadoff spot, followed by Aaron Harrington and Gage Busby. Landon Reith made a nice leaping catch in the first in the cleanup spot, followed by Andrew Clark, Max Pitts, Bronco Witt, Michael Infranca, and Jace Johnson. And then the extra hitters are Cade Perkins, Diego DeSantiago, and Ashton Nance. As Sam Pitts gets this Mustang lineup going. And Jackson, I mean, a lot of these guys, they are in college, but most of these guys were two-way players, at least in high school. So it's not like they're totally not used to having the bat in their hands.
Right. It's kind of just that refresh, you know, like you get into that, you know, specific job or something that you go back to that, you know, you took a break from. And it's just all about working the kinks out. And a lot of these guys are going to realize that. I know we saw a couple of them during batting practice. I mean, they looked fresh. You know, it's like they haven't ever swung a bat. So, I mean, it's good to see them getting a different side of the game.
All these guys got ABs, and most of the position players tonight, the normal position players for the Mustangs, are dressed in street clothes. Just there to enjoy the good times with their brothers as Pitts grounds one to third off the glove of Montgomery and on into left field. And Sam Pitts is the first base runner of the night with a single.
Yeah, nice swing from Pitts. He just got on the inside fastball and took it over to third base. And that velocity kind of drove that hop in the infield. And just a good job putting the ball in play, and it works wonders for him.
So now bring up Aaron Harrington. Harrington got roughed up in his last start on the mound, but maybe looking to right the mental state with a good time at the dish tonight. Bayer is a guy, likes to use that changeup to the outside to lefties, tails away. But he's going to attack that outside corner with also the fastball. Not try to give any of these lefties anything to hit in the middle of the plate. So now goes 3-0 to Pitts.
Just a nice AB so far. Just really relaxed and composed. Working the 3-0 count. See if another base runner here for the Mustangs.
And it will be back-to-back base runners as Harrington draws the walk.
Just really calm. He was really patient. He was one to find his pitch, which for most of these guys, it's just going to be something right down the middle they can just get a bat on. They're not looking for anything too specific, but Harrington a nice job. But, you know, a lot of these guys just want to come in there and just swing the bat just because they can. But Harrington did a nice job just playing the pitch smart.
Now it'll be Gage Busby, who took the loss last night in the second game of a doubleheader against Chillicothe, but otherwise has been fantastic on the mound this season. Hasn't made a start, but has definitely appeared out of the bullpen in some high leverage situations and has gotten some big outs as he rips one into center, but over, and he missed it because of the sun was Big M. Pitts jogs around third, he'll score, Harrington will cruise into third, and the Mustangs take a 1-0 lead.
You know what, Busby, all he did, he ripped that thing right down the middle, took it in to the right center field gap, and that sun just going to beat these All-Stars defenders up all night until we get later into the game and just could not get it to work.
Gage Busby plates the first run of the evening. So now brings up the cleanup hitter, Landon Reith. Made a fantastic leaping grab on the first pitch of the game.
Right now, these Mustangs just making it look like they've been here before with the bat. I mean, they got runners in scoring position, already have an RBI double from Busby. They make like it's just another day at the office.
We've seen the sun definitely play a factor in the field, and right there, Bigham had a good beat on it, but then just lost at the last moment. Saw it go by him. Reith, his first pitch swinging. Reith, one of those guys, throws lefty but bats righty. You know, you definitely see a surplus amount of people who throw righty and bat lefty, but those lefty throwers, righty hitters are kind of going by the wayside nowadays.
I can confirm I am a right-handed thrower, and I did bat left all my life playing baseball. It's definitely a cool trait to have, but That is definitely a weird one. You know, a lot of left-hand guys just bad left.
0-2 from Reith, chopped to third. Montgomery has it. And he'll throw out Reith, but Reith will get credited with the RBI as Harrington scores. And Busby moves over to third as it's now 2-0 St. Joe.
Just put the ball in play right there with the runner 90 feet away. Just did a good job. Got the RBI home and productive out.
Now the Andrew Clark. Clark started this season well on the mound, then had a couple of rough back-to-back starts, but on this road trip, he was fantastic, saving the game against Jeff City on Monday. Starting to really find himself. You can find plenty of content on the St. Joseph Mustangs YouTube page featuring Andrew Clark. He has a weekly player vlog. He's also filling time with Phil Welch podcast with Clark, my partner Jackson Phelps, and then another 2025 intern Keaton Smith.
Yeah, it's a fun guy to talk to. You know, he's a real lively guy. Just another guy who's just like us, loves sports, but
that one chopped over to the right side. Pecora has it, and he throws it away. So Clark will reach on the E4, and another run scores for the Mustangs.
You got to love to see it. These pitchers are just putting the ball in play and making the defense make the mistakes here in the inning. It's paid off now. 3 quick runs, and 2 of those have been kind of gifted by the defense so far. But Clark did a nice job. Kind of jammed on the inside half, but did a good job putting it deep enough to get some speed and wheels, make it a close play, and he ends up at first.
Now it'll be the younger brother of Sam Pitts and Max Pitts, redshirted this past spring at Cochise Community College. Pitts, another guy who's got some high leverage situations over the road trip. As Andrew Clark's going to steal second right there, a little bit of a delayed steal. But Andrew Clark gets the stolen base.
Yeah, nice job. You know, pitchers didn't even realize it, and Clark got a great jump. Got some speed on him, some sleeper speed out there from Andrew Clark. Now another runner in scoring position for Pitts.
So far tonight, these Mustang pitchers with the bat in their hands, picking up right where the Mustang hitters have left off in terms of being able to hit with runners in scoring position.
It's where they're the most comfortable.
There's a curveball in the dirt. Pitts lays off it. And you have to think, you know, Jackson, even though these pitchers don't get normal ABs, but they are still pitchers, that they're able to maybe recognize spin sooner and have a better sense for where pitches are going because they throw the same type of pitches themselves.
Yeah, you know, they definitely study it day in and day out. You know, they know the exact break that theirs have, so I bet you they could probably notice, hey, that thing's spinning to the side. It's a slider. I bet you they definitely have an upper edge of getting to it. Just getting the bat to the ball is probably going to be the biggest issue for them. They're just not swinging wood, because you mentioned a lot of these guys in high school. I mean, these are wood bats. It's definitely a step up. So these guys got a little bit of an upper edge, but also with those wood bats can maybe be a little bit of a difficulty.
Full count offering outside, and Max Pitts works himself a walk, putting 2 back on with only 1 out for Bronco Witt.
What an at-bat once again. Pitts down in full count. You know, if he gets anything close, you know, likely wanting to swing that bat, but second walk of the inning drawn by these pitchers who are batting, so loving what I'm seeing.
Three runs home already here in the inning for the Mustangs. Baseball and bingo night. Fans have their bingo cards in the stands right now and have the chance to win Royals tickets if circumstances can go their way according to their card. This was a big hack by Witt. Witt actually got in that bat earlier this season in the Mustangs alumni game. So a few of these guys have swung the bat already this year in that game. As there goes Andrew Clark, nice read in the dirt. And he's going to come home after the errant throw by Thornhill. So run number 4. crosses the plate as Andrew Clark manufactures a run.
Nice job. Realized the ball went in the dirt early. Got another great jump. Clark's a little bit, like I said, sleeper on the base paths, and throw down was just not clean, and Clark realized that quickly and got home. What a run there.
Was getting Johnny Depp, Jack Sparrow running vibes a little bit. You know, little shoulders back. You know, a little running from Andrew Clark. You know, not wanting to, you know, go 110%, but also, you know, and not like, you know, tear something, but also, you know, wanting to try still. You know, a little bit of that passive aggressive run almost as Witt chops that one and strikes out for the second out of the inning.
I'll have to let him know that on Friday. Hey, maybe.
I compared his run to
Jack
Sparrow.
Yeah, I'll let him know. I'll let him know.
All-time movie character. You know, those movies, I mean, I think good movies, definitely fun ones to watch.
Yeah.
And you know, I feel like Johnny Depp really embraced the character, and I mean, good laughs.
They are. You know, I haven't seen too many of them, but I do love a good. I did play the Lego games.
It's now to be Michael and Franca. Franca starting at second base tonight, lefty second baseman. You know, sometimes in, you know, youth and little league, you'll see a lefty shortstop, but rarely do you see a lefty second baseman, as there's a balk called on Bayer. So now Pitts moves up 90 feet to third.
Box helped them out on Saturday, definitely getting that 10th run home. So they definitely know how to get in these pitchers' heads, and pitcher's doing a good job on the base paths.
Franca, a true player, lefty thrower, lefty hitter. All right, Jackson, you talked about being a righty-lefty. I also was a righty-lefty because my dad's favorite player was George Brett.
Okay,
so he always wanted to have a son who threw right, batted left.
I mimicked Alex Gordon.
Definitely didn't hit as well as George Brett did, but still had fun doing his. And Franco waves and miss at the breaking ball. But the Mustangs, they played 4 their first trip to the dish, sent 8 to the plate. 1 left on a couple hits and a couple walks. We're headed to the second. Mustangs are up early on the All-Stars, 4-0. So we get a look at your Mustangs defensive lineup. No errors made in that top of the first inning, but it is the outfield. Bit different than normal. It's Bronco Witt in left, Sam Pitts in center, and then Aaron Harrington in right. And you've got Max Pitts, Andrew Clark, Michael and Franca, and Landon Reith left to right around the infield. And then your battery tonight is Jace Johnson and Trevor McCollum. So, you know, definitely guys, I mean, playing new positions, but so far have been fundamentally sound on what the couple balls that have been put in place so far, Jackson.
Yeah, it really is. You know, they've definitely kind of gone back to their old senses being in the field.
That one ripped to center, pitch shielding his eyes. And will he get to it? And he will! A nice running grab made. Sam Pitts in the gap, robbing Jake Bigham of what would have been at least a double.
Man, what a play. That is going to be Mr. Sam Pitts out there. And just what a running grab that was. That's hard. He was getting, the glove was in the sun, trying to shield those eyes, and that ball was driven, almost getting into right field, but Pitts was on it off the bat. And like we mentioned, fundamentally sound. I don't think that's fundamentals. That's just pure skill out there from Pitts with the speed.
Did a good job shielding his eyes from that sun, then showed off that speed. This won't be the last time I'll say it, but pitchers are athletes too.
That's right. That is right.
It's now 4 up, 4 down from Trevor McCollum as it brings up Drew Picara.
We show love to our pitchers. We love them.
Picara made an error in the top of the first. Allowed a run to score. Looking to get the All-Stars going with his bat right here.
I want to see these infielders flash some leather, maybe get a sharp ground ball. I want to see if they can put some nice leather in the infield.
It'll be interesting to see how much they're willing to put their bodies on the line. I mean, we've already seen Andrew Clark steal a base, advance on a pass ball, and
yeah,
he's been willing to be aggressive, but, you know, some of these other guys, you know, are they willing to get the uniform dirty? Are they willing to make the highlight play? As McCollum fires in a strike there to Picara. Full count now. McCollum's rocking the stirrup look, the Washburn University attendee. And that breaking ball, that pops out of the hand right there. It's not one for the scrapbook.
Not at all. Yeah, you know, he looked back at Clark, gave a little chuckle, but yeah, McCollum's not used to throwing that breaking ball there. We'll just have to see if that develops throughout the game.
Probably gave him some advice to get on top of it, but right there's a fastball. That Picara chases, second strikeout. Now for McCollum and 2 quick outs here in the second.
Nice job just going back to the fastball. Kurt, you know, off speed didn't work out for you that last pitch. Put one in the zone and make the batter go to work. McCollum's doing a really good job so far on the mound, making it look like he's definitely been here before this season.
Now it'll be Corey Blake, first baseman for the All-Stars. Looking to see if he can be the first base runner here tonight. For the opponents. Fastball upstairs misses. It'll be interesting how long, you know, McCollum gets to go. You know, maybe it's just he goes a couple innings and then you give it off to the next position player. But like I said, a lot of those other position player guys were in street clothes. That one grounded up the middle. Tough hop for Andrew Clark, but he flashes the leather right there. Not an easy play as that ball popped up off the lip of the grass, but Clark stays with it to retire the side. 6 up, 6 down for Trevor McCollum. We're headed to the bottom of the second. League. Jace Johnson, Kate Perkins, and Diego DeSantiago for your Stangs. 4 runs already home here in the inning. In the games, excuse me. So far for the Mustangs, it'll be the bottom of the order. Starting off, Jace Johnson gets the Stangs started here in the second. And he reaches out, pokes one off the glove of Bayer. Tough play for a baller, and he throws it away. And Jace Johnson reaches on a leadoff single.
I mean, it's just working magic for him. They're just putting the ball in play, and it's been working out. The All-Star defense just cannot handle making some of these short, hot plays, and it's working out for the Mustangs' favor.
Johnson closed out game 1 of the doubleheader versus Chillicothe yesterday, and now he has his first hit of the night as it brings up Cade Perkins. Perkins definitely has been a standout on the mound. The lefty from SEMO. Got to experience NCAA playoff baseball in 2024. That team made a run through the Fayetteville Regional, and then this past spring, SEMO was upset in the OVC tournament.
That's where your Lindenwood Tigers are, yeah.
Lions. Lindenwood Lions, not Tigers. Tigers was my high school.
Oh my gosh, I said Tigers.
Tigers was my high school.
That is my fault. I said
Lions
Tigers. I knew
is my
it was.
college, and effective August 1st, they will officially be D1 eligible and have completed their period of transition. So super excited. You know, I don't care where or how many miles I am going to any NCAA tournament game that any sports program appears in. I will drive down to Columbia, South Carolina to watch Lindenwood women's basketball be the first ever women's 16 seed to upset a 1 seed. I will be there. But yeah, really excited for Lindenwood sports. That one flared up the middle, but this one an easier play for Baller. He retires Perkins as Johnson stays put at first for 1 out. Brings up Diego de Santiago. We're used to seeing him throw fireballs on the mound. We'll see what his exit velo off the bat is here tonight.
Yeah, I'm excited. De Santiago, one of the more flashy players on the team, one of the more nicer guys as well. So you really got to love to see what he can do up on the batter's box. See if he can translate that high velo off the hands and put that on the bat.
He was also another guy who got an AB in the alumni games. That one off the end of the bat right to first for Blake. He'll take it himself. And after the leadoff single by Johnson, back-to-back outs now recorded by Bayer.
Just a good comeback situation there from Bayer. You know, he got a couple plays in the ground that he could kind of deal with for this defense. And right there, an unassisted 3. Tough play to make, but got over to first in time. But now Nance gets a spot.
Now it'll be the high school senior just graduated a month ago. Lines one on a hop to Baller. Can he get Nance? And he will. Nice stretch over there by Blake at first. And Bayer able to work around the leadoff single. 1 hit in the inning, 1 left for your Mustangs. We're headed to the 3rd. They still lead 4-0. Trevor McCollum back to work here in the third, still with a 4-run lead. He gets the 7, 8, 9 hitters here in this all-star lineup. Jackson, so far, McCollum, he's looked good out there on the mound. He doesn't look flustered or at all rusty.
Not at all. I mean, he's confident in what he's throwing, and you love to see that in a position player going on the mound. Just loves to throw some strikes, and he's doing just that.
Jackson Gregory, who greets him to start. Gregory, one of the 4 extra hitters in this all-star lineup. Does appear to be one soul out in that right center bullpen for St. Joe. So it appears maybe this might just be McCollum's last inning and they'll pass the torch along. So far he's been very, very good. That 2-1 popped up behind the plate. Johnson will just see it back in to the netting that covers the stands here at Phil Welch. Something you don't usually see at a professional ballpark. You usually see the tall nets along behind home plate and down towards the dugouts, but Phil Welch here connected to the roof down to those vertical nets. It's another net really protecting those fans seated behind home plate and towards the dugouts. As that's a nice breaking ball. Gregory's able to hold up. We've seen that a couple times tonight. McCollum's definitely pulled out the curve, and it's been pretty nasty.
It has. Really breaks across from east to west. Really nice for him. It definitely looks like he has thrown that before.
There's another one, and Gregory whiffs on it. Third K for McCollum, and it's 7 up, 7 down to start his night.
Yeah, McCollum, it's just too easy for him out on this mound. He's so confident. He's not afraid to throw some stuff that's new to these hitters, and really just looks like he's had so many years plus experience throwing, and I can only imagine he has by the way that his mechanics are.
His mechanics don't at all look like a position player taking the hill. Like I said, a lot of these guys were probably pitched in high school as well as played, and then once they made the jump to college, they were either forced or they just chose which one they would rather do, as it's Austin Burnham. The right fielder finds himself quickly down 0-2. McCollum tried to spot the fastball low, didn't get the call. Johnson did his best to frame it. Saw Johnson catch in that alumni game, like several of these guys got opportunities. Johnson came in to catch.
You gotta love it. He's working all ends of the zone. You know, he's not just trying to put it down the middle. He's definitely working multiple areas, and you really like to see that with a guy who doesn't have too many innings pitched in the recent years.
There's a breaking ball jamming Burnham and right to McCollum, and it's 8 up, 8 down now as he tosses it over to Reith to complete the out. Now brings up Brody Estes. McCollum so far this season at the plate, very nice showing so far. 333 average, has 14 hits and 13 RBIs. This is one of the more potent offenses in the Mink. So far, the pitcher's getting the hitting duties, picking up right where the normal hitters have left off. So now has Estes quickly down 0-2. Jackson was saying, McCollum just going right after these hitters, not really caring if they hit it or not. He's just going to throw strikes.
Yeah, he's doing a good job at it. You know, he's a lot of these all-star hitters just not really wanting to bite too much at McCollum stuff, kind of watching him all the way into the zone. At what point do you want to try swinging more, as that one was swung and missed? But the whiff rate for McCollum so far has been pretty decent as well.
Another 0-2. Again, fouled off by Estes. Just kind of had to throw his bat out there. Stay alive. We'll do it again for the third time. Another breaking ball that popped up in the air before dropping down and missed by about a foot.
This looks like that's his only pitch that he just doesn't have down all the way. And I love that he's throwing it. He's wanting to get more used to it, but I say just keep going at it.
Estes giving him quite a battle here as he fouls off another third foul ball of the at-bat here with 2 strikes. One, two. Outside now 2-2. Now the 9th pitch of the at-bat coming right here from McCollum to Estes. He fouls it off again.
Woo.
Estes really battling up there at the plate.
Gotta love it. McCollum's first batter so far this game that's really given him a tough time. And working that pitch count on a guy that is not used to throwing too much could really give some effect to get some pitches in the zone that could be easier to hit. But see how McCollum responds.
Estes now flares one out to down the left field line. Wits over, settles under it. He makes the grab. And it's 3 really, really good innings to start for Trevor McCollum. 9 up, 9 down. So we're headed to the bottom of the 3rd. It'll be the top of the order for your Mustangs coming up right after this. Top of the lineup for your Mustangs here in the bottom of the 3rd. Sam Pitts, Aaron Harrington, Gage Busby all reached base in the top of the 1st and came around to score. Part of that 4-run outburst in the 1st.
Looking to keep it going. Just the 1 hit on 4 runs, and you just want to keep getting those runners on base.
Pitts reached on an error his first time up. Came around to score on the Gage Busby double. Ethan Baer still out there working on the mound. Had a nice inning in the 2nd. Worked around to lead off single, retire 3 straight hitters. Has fallen behind Pitts here 2-1. That 2-1 chopped over to the 3rd, fielded by Montgomery. Strong throw across the diamond. Not in time as Sam Pitts will reach on the infield single. Showing off the wheels. He showed them off in center. Now he shows them off there, beating out an infield single.
Yeah, nice job. Just put a hot spot for the hot corner over there. Just could not make the long throw. Pitts with that sleeper speed. Just got over to 1st in time, and just a nice job getting runners on.
I'll bring up Aaron Harrington, who walked and scored back in the 1st, and he rips one first pitch into the right center gap, and that'll go all the way, cut off before it gets to the wall by Burnham. And Harrington will cruise into second base with a double. Had to go into a protective slide, but Harrington also reaches for his second time with his first hit.
Back-to-back hits for these Mustangs, and Harrington got all over that inside fastball, got the hands inside, drove it into the outfield, and over there just could not have any play on it. And 2 runners in scoring position, no outs for the man who hit the last double back in the first, Mr. Gage Busby.
Busby drove in a run with that double and also came around to score on the error that Andrew Clark reached on. Now he has a chance with anything but the strikeout of the infield pop-up to drive home his second run of the night. Busby, a guy who just recently transferred from Missouri Western to Northwest Missouri State. He takes his talents north for next spring up to Maryville, Missouri.
Go Cats.
The broadcast partner currently attending is currently a Bearcat, and that program will welcome Busby in with open arms, but he finds himself down here 1-2.
It'll be fun to see what he contributes to the Ville.
Holds up on a breaking ball there from Bear. He evens the count now at 2-2. Now count is full. Busby so far on the mound has made 6 appearances. He's 1-2 in 10 1/3 innings, 6.1 ERA. But does have 14 strikeouts to 7 walks. Opponents are batting .260 against him. Bit of an up and down stretch to start this season, and he draws the walk to now load the bases up for Landon Reith.
Bases loaded, like you mentioned, Truman, and they are really making it look easy on both sides. You got McCollum on the mound, and these batters just staying so patient. You know, they look like they're not putting too much flair on it. Harrington and Busby really the only ones that put it out into the outfield, but just getting the ball in play and working the counts is all that Coach Coy is asking for these guys. And
Reith rips run on a line, but snared by Picara. What a snag by Picara for the first out. Keeps the runners where they are, but Reith absolutely ripped that ball. But unfortunately, is retired on the play.
I want to get an exit velocity on that. Reith who got all over that. Just a little bit to the left. That rips into center field and scores too, but can't be mad after that at bat.
Now it's Andrew Clark who reached on an error. His first time up in the first. Clark has made 6 appearances on the mound so far this season. Second at bat at the plate. He has 1 save this season. He's 1-0 in 8 1/3 innings. 12 strikeouts to 7 walks, and opponents are only batting .218 against him. ERA a bit inflated at that 6.48 just because he went through a couple starts where he struggled with command, but has found himself in his last couple of appearances, but he chases a fastball up. And much like Bayer in the second, has now gotten back-to-back outs after base runners getting on to start the inning.
Yeah, I noticed Clark was really choking up on that end of the bat. You know, he wasn't getting around quick enough, and that fastball also ate him up there. You know, Clark was talking, you know, he was predominantly only a pitcher throughout his whole career playing baseball, so that's an unfamiliar territory for him, but did a good job going down swinging.
Now it'll be Max Pitts. Pitts walked and was stranded at third to end the first. He's also got a chance to make a few plays in the hot corner. He finds himself quickly down 0-2 as Bayer struggled with runners on in the first, but now here in the second and third, he's gotten much better when runners have been on compared to when nobody's been on. And there's a breaking ball called strike 3 on the corner. Back-to-back strikeouts for Bayer to end the inning, and he leaves them loaded. Mustangs get 2 hits and a walk, leave 3, but no runs. We're a third of this way through the game. Stangs' lead is still 4-0. The heat wave continues to pound the St. Joseph area. Not into the 90s tonight, but currently 89, and the temperature will stay in these high 80s. There was a breeze earlier in the day, but the flag at a standstill out in center. So far, the Mustangs out to a 4-0 lead. But Trevor McCollum back out for his 4th inning of work, Jackson.
Yeah, he's doing pretty good. He's looking really comfortable. They're trusting him through 4. We were kind of, skeptical. Is this going to be like a traditional all-star game layout where, the batter's getting a pitch, they're going to let all the batters get a chance to pitch? But so far, McCollum's saying, no, guys, I got this. Let me take over.
It is Dan Montgomery, the third baseman. To lead off, it's the 10, 11, 12 hitters here in the 4th for the All-Stars of their 13-man lineup. And Montgomery waves and misses and finds himself down 1-2. Like so many of these All-Star hitters so far, McCollum's just gotten ahead of him with 2 strikes and been able to finish him off.
See here, he's getting some good whiffs.
That one up the middle and through, and there is the first hit of the night for the All-Stars. Comes via Dan Montgomery. Pokes a 2-strike fastball right back up the middle. And the All-Stars have their first hit and base runner.
Yeah, Montgomery has a little bit of a fan section over here. Lots of cheers for him. You love to see it, but off speed, and he was sitting on it. It was good location from McCollum, but the first hit through 4 innings for a guy who plays predominantly outfield, you'll take that any day.
Now Lane Thornhill, the catcher, getting the catching duties tonight for the All-Stars. Another fastball blown by another hitter. As McCollum has really leaned on that fastball, and it's been worked to his benefit.
Right back to it. You love to see just putting it down in the zone. Fastball, tough to catch up to, and McCollum looking to get another K.
I mean, McCollum in terms of velo, usual outfielder. So especially when he has to make a long throw, we've seen him cut down a few guys at the plate as there's a ground ball to Clark. He'll go to Infranca for 1. Over to first, double play! A 6-4-3 double play turned by Andrew Clark and Michael Infranca.
Oh, man, who taught him that? Andrew Clark did a nice job getting the throw over. And Franca's in that tough situation there. I mean, he kind of had his body turned the wrong way, had to make a nice little play to get it over. But a beautiful play from the infield made it look routine as ever.
And a nice play by Infranca. Had to do a bit of a glove side turn, but able to put a throw right on the money to Reith. You wouldn't know that Clark, and especially Infranca, aren't typical middle infielders unless you looked at the glove or just knew they were pitchers, as that was a beautiful turn right there. And eliminates the leadoff single. So it brings up Greg Schlellhorn. And he chases a breaking ball in the dirt. Johnson picks it up, fires over to Reith to retire the side. 1 hit in the inning, no runners left. It's been McCollum has faced the minimum as we're headed to the bottom of the 4th. Bronco Witt leads off the Mustangs, looking to plate more here on YouTube. Bronco Witt gets set to face the first arm out of the bullpen for the All-Stars. It'll be Cody Vaughn. The southpaw takes over for Ethan Bayer. Went 3 innings, gave up 4 runs, 3 earned. So he gets the middle of this Mustang lineup in Witt and Franca and Jace Johnson. Witt struck out back in the first. Originally from Gower, Missouri. Currently attends Northwest Missouri State University. Started out of the bullpen this season for the Mustangs, but has made 2 starts in the past 2 weeks and has really settled into that role as he quickly takes a 4-pitch walk to start the Stangs here in the 4th.
A nice job there. I mean, you just staying patient is all you can ask for with Witt there. And MCC man going to Northwest next year makes it look easy once again.
Now Michael and Franca, who also struck out swinging in the first, but also turned a nice double play with Andrew Clark in the top half of this inning. Mustangs stranded the bases loaded with no outs in the bottom of the 3rd. They're still looking to build on that 4-run lead as Bronco Witt's going to take off for second and slide in head to first without a throw with a stolen base for him.
Doing a good job there, just setting up and Franca with a nice spot here with a runner in scoring position. And Witt has some speed there. Just couldn't get the hand on it to get the throw down, and an easy stolen base for Witt. And another Mustangs runner. It's 180 feet away.
Franca, a Kansas City kid from Blue Springs, Missouri. Currently attends Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Baseball, a big thing down there in Texas, especially the rivalries between those Division I programs. This past NCAA tournament saw the likes of Texas get upset by UTSA. Meanwhile, the count full here to Franca. And he gets one called in the corner. He didn't like it. But they'll be headed back to the dugout as the first strikeout for Vaughn.
That's just a tough pitch for Franca to look at. I mean, on the outer edge. Just not used to seeing those in the batter's perspective there, and you kind of get a glimpse of what it looks like to see it. But a nice pitch by Vaughn. Good first out.
Now to Jace Johnson. Singled in the second. Was left stranded there. He chops one off the end of the bat, and it's gloved. Can't be gloved there by Baller. And Johnson will reach.
Runners on the corners for the Mustangs, and another just putting the ball in play, working out gracefully for you. It's a nice job by Johnson getting the ball onto it, and now it's going to set up Perkins pretty decent here with just an out.
Second hit of the game for Johnson. So now he'll take a delayed steal and move into scoring position. Now there's 2 in scoring position for Cade Perkins, who ripped one, but lined out to Baller at short. His first time up. He finds himself quickly in the hole, 0-2 by Vaughn. Perkins, another guy who started at the bullpen to begin this year, but has made a couple starts. A 1.80 ERA in 15 innings, 14 strikeouts to 2 walks. He has been quite impressive, the lefty from Manhattan, Kansas.
Sure has. He's coming in some decent spots, and keeping the runs off the board is his main goal, and he does just that. Time in and time out, coming out from the pen, and now trying to deliver here.
He's just a part of the list of guys that make up this Mink leading pitching staff as there's a wild pitch. Will allow Bronco Witt to easily come home with the 5th run of the game.
It's a nice job by staying patient from Witt. Notice that it went in the dirt. Took a little bit of a delayed jump from him over at third, but once he realized that it was in the dirt and got past, nice job, walked in easily, and now a nice 5-0 cushion for these Mustangs.
Bergen's able to stay alive, fouling one off. Has to protect that outside corner, which is shown vulnerable. Being called and batters rung up for strike 3 on that ball that maybe just off the plate between the batter's box paint and the edge of the plate. So another 2-2 offering from Vaughn, and again, Perkins stays alive.
All these batters are just doing a nice job staying disciplined, and that's a hard thing to do whenever you don't swing the bat too often. You just want to be free, try and swing at anything that seems like it could be close, but they're doing a good job getting those payoff pitches foul.
Now he chases a changeup in the dirt and strikes out. Second strikeout of the inning for Vaughn and first of the night for Perkins.
Just a nice job, delayed swing from Perkins. Didn't know if he wanted it exactly there, but went ahead, like I said, just kind of tried to put the bat on something. But now coming up to Santiago, who looking to get his first hit of the ball game. One of the flashy pitchers on the team. Trying to do the same thing with the bat.
He went off the end of the bat over to Blake at first, was easily retired out in front of a pitch from All-Star starter Bayer. To Santiago, a West Coast kid out of Stockton, California. Will be taking his talents to San Joaquin Delta College. Back on that West Coast, closer to home. He finds himself in a 2-2 count. He had pitched this last spring at Maple Woods Community College. There's another breaking ball from Vaughn. Now the count is full.
Him and Bronco Witt over at MCC. It's actually right by my house. In fact, it's a 1-minute walk for me if I go outside my door to go to MCC. So back home in Kansas City, it's where it's at. But
he rips one to the right side, but easily gloved there by Picara. And it'll retire to Santiago. But one home in the inning, one hit, one runner left for the Mustangs. We're headed to the top half of the 5th. They increase their lead to 5-0 as you're watching St. Joseph Mustangs baseball here on YouTube. Dom Felix takes over after 4 shutout innings from Trevor McCollum, in which he faced the minimum, only gave up 1 hit, struck out 3, and didn't walk anybody. But it'll be Dom Felix who closed out that alumni game a few Saturdays ago. Now gets his second opportunity to pitch here tonight. So we get Cody Vaughn, who pitched the bottom half of the 4th for the All-Stars, batting in the 13 hole, their 13th and final batter.
You like to call him old reliable, and Dom Felix.
One of the veterans on this team, been around multiple seasons, experienced what winning a Mink League championship is like, and just so dependable with the bat and with the glove. Vaughn works the count full here. And he gets him looking, so Dom Felix immediately comes in and gets a strikeout. And so the first 13 hitters, first time through the order for the All-Stars, only 1 hit and 4 strikeouts. Against Mustangs pitching as it brings back up the top finally, and Dalton Henter, who lined the first pitch he saw, and Landon Reith made a great leaping grab over there at first.
Yeah, making it look dominant. I mean, they've been doing it all season long, but it doesn't even matter. Even if you flip this whole entire team over, I mean, they still make it look easy, and they show you what winning baseball is like. So they can do it both ways, and you love to see it.
Felix leaning on that fastball, has really yet to show an off speed. Felix currently attends Emporia State University. Hit 291 for them this past spring, and currently hitting .313 this season. Looking to replicate his all-Mink first team selection from a year ago. Count even to Henter. Now fastball inside, back-to-back hitters have gone full here against Felix to start his outing.
Did a good job last batter, put him in a tough spot, put it in a tough part of the zone. Want to do the same exact thing here if you're Felix. You know, don't throw anything too close on the outside part, keep it more on the inside half of the plate into that zone, but also can't give anything too easy. But with only 1 hit for these first 4, I mean, you don't really have to be too scared to put anything in that zone.
And that full count offering this time is outside ball 4. So Henter works the 1-out walk and reaches base for the first time tonight.
Nice job by Henter. Stayed patient. He knew what he wanted and did not get anything close to it from Felix. And a nice 1-out base runner, as the All-Stars are just trying to get something on the board so far. A fat donut from these from the first two pitchers from these Mustangs. They're doing a nice job.
And there goes to second Henter, and the throw from Johnson gets into center field. So Dalton Henter creating a little chaos on the base paths. Now is at third with only 1 out after the stolen base and E2.
There you go, just a runner 90 feet away. It was a good throw from Johnson. Just looks like Clark just couldn't get the glove on it. Maybe a little bit to the right side from our view, but just good pop time nonetheless.
Felix now has Ethan Bayer down 0-2. Bayer grounded out to Franca at second. Also pitched the first 3 innings for the All-Stars. Felix looking to work out a bit of a jam. That one lined over by the Mustangs dugout. A couple of the guys had to show off their parkour skills. Get out of the way of that one. 1-2 offering. Again, fouled off by Bayer. Even though the All-Stars only have 1 hit to show through 4 1/3, they have definitely proved to be worthy adversaries at the plate, working multiple counts deep, fouling pitches off, making these Mustangs pitchers work for the outs.
They really have, you know, even though they're not putting too much pop on it, keeping the at-bats alive sometimes is all you can ask for, especially down 5 runs. Any extra bit of life for a team like this with a dominant pitching staff can definitely help this team.
As Bayer gets a hold of that one down the right field line. That'll land fair just inside the line. First run on the board for the All-Stars, and Ethan Bayer marches into second with an RBI stand-up double.
Rip that thing inside. Got the hands up tight, just drove it down the line, just fair. What a piece of hitting there, and now the All-Stars get their first run and now down just 4, and another runner in scoring position as well, so they can try and continue this surge. Trying to come back on this one is Felix. A little bit of a shaken up pitch there, but looking to see if he can bounce back from that.
Now the Brooke Baller, who struck out looking all the way back in the first inning against Trevor McCollum. The All-Stars trying to mount a little bit of a comeback there as Bayer was sitting on that fastball and ripped it down the right field line. Now Felix falls behind Baller 2-1. Baller has had several opportunities at shortstop tonight, but has also made a couple errors. These fielders for the All-Stars have gotten eaten up on a couple tough hops that this Phil Welch grass has given them, as another one cut on and missed.
Yeah, this grass is a little bit thicker. Plays like Oakmont, for any of the golf fans watching at home, just definitely you cannot read those balls coming off that grass very easily.
Now the third hitter of the inning out of the 4 batters that have come to the plate have now worked the count full against Felix. His pitch count is definitely getting up there. Something to watch as there's one fouled back, and again, All-Star hitters are staying alive. Full count offering low. The All-Stars have some life here as Brooke Baller draws his first walk, and it's now 3 consecutive base runners.
Just the difference is from McCollum, I think he was just really pushing that zone, trusting himself. Felix trying to work it around a little bit too much and losing these batters in the counts pretty early on in those 3-walk situations, but just trying to look for a bounce back batter. You know, if this is a strikeout, if this is a pop fly, just something that can get him juiced back up, but you just can't lose yourself in these at-bats.
Now Jake Bigham, who lined to center. Sam Pitts made a nice grab deep in the alley in right center. As that one, Johnson was trying to back pick Baller at first. So both runners will now move up 90 feet into scoring position. Now the throw-in from the outfield gets away. Looking like a carnival out here, throwing the ball over the yard, and a run will score after the E2 and E9.
Oh man, just a little bit of a mess there. Johnson had a good idea trying to go back on Baller, but just missed it there. And the throw looked really good from right, but Johnson just couldn't field it as he's not used to being with all that gear back there. It allows for the run to come home.
Felix responds, though, after quite the unfortunate events with a strike. He has Bigham down 1-2. Can he retire him? He can! Fastball right by him. Second strikeout of the inning for Felix. Now there are 2 outs here with a runner at second.
Love a good lucky announcer jinx there, Truman. Love it. Love it. Always good to hear that. Nice strikeout. Good payoff strikeout, especially after the couple of runs this inning from Felix. Good confidence booster. You know, just with that 2 outs on the board, still runner on second. Don't worry about him too much. Just worry about getting those balls across the plate and trust yourself and your defense behind you.
It's now Drew Picara. 0 for 1, struck out swinging in the second. Looking to drive home the All-Stars' 3rd run of the inning. Felix going right back to work after the strikeout and quickly has Picara down 0-2. Picara just had to battle as Felix really working. If there was a pitch clock, he's pitching it in the first 2-3 seconds. Looking to just get on the hill, get back to it.
Just doing a good job after the recent 3-2 counts, hits given, just the hit given up here, and now 0-2. A little bit tougher of a spot here for these All-Stars, and Felix looking to try and lead one on.
Another 0-2 from Dom. Swung on and missed. Third strikeout of the inning for Felix, and he strands a runner at second base, but 2 home in the inning for the All-Stars on 1 hit, 1 left. We're headed to the bottom of the 5th here at Phil Welch. It's a brand new ball game. It's 5-2 Mustangs. Bottom of the 5th here at Phil Welch. All-Stars plate 2 in the top half of the inning. But we're joined here now by Tyler Gundelfinger. Tyler, how are we doing tonight?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good, man. I'm happy to be here.
Now, do you enjoy these nights, you know, when the pitchers get to play in the field and, you know, these pitchers or, you normal position players maybe get a chance on the mound? You know, what do you think about these nights, getting to have a little fun with the guys and for the fans?
Oh, it's great. It's great. I mean, these guys love it. I love it. I mean, everybody likes watching this. So it's a special day for us. And, yeah, I mean, it's a ton of fun.
And now, I mean, guys have now gotten on the road a couple times. We're already week 5 into the season. Hard to believe. I mean, what have you thought so far of this team? I mean, your first season with the Mustangs, correct? And you know, just what have you thought coming into this atmosphere and just really becoming one of the guys here in St. Joe?
Oh, I mean, it's a blast. It's a blast. I mean, this is probably the most fun I've had playing baseball. I mean, our team just competes, you know, day in, day out. So, I mean, you know, we get down early sometimes in games, and, you know, just knowing that, you know, we're going to come back and go out-compete whoever we're playing, man, it's great. It's great. It's super fun to play for, and we got a great team dynamic going. So, I mean, it's a blast.
It's Nance retired, popping out in foul territory to start the inning now. Now, take me through. You have hit a homer so far this season.
Yep.
So far, the long ball hasn't come so far to this team yet, but what did that homer feel like? I mean, off the bat, did you know it was gone? Did it take you till you actually saw it go over the wall?
I thought it had a chance, you know. I mean, Phil Welch, I mean, it's a tough ball. It's a tough field to get a ball out. I mean, it plays really big, and, you know, sometimes I'll be in BP, and, you know, I think I got a ball, and, you know, it doesn't go out. So it's tough to, like, you know, really, like, sell it like you got a home run, so you got to make sure it goes over. But, yeah, I thought it definitely had a chance. I thought most ballparks probably gone, but, you know, you never know with Phil Welch. So
now, so far, you guys have made a couple road trips. Do you have a other favorite Mink League stadium besides here at home for Phil Welch? Or are you still kind of feeling out the other team's ballparks?
You know, we played at Carroll, and the wind was probably blowing out like 40, 50 miles an hour, it felt like. I mean, that was really cool to play in. Taking BP was really fun. So I would say Carroll, they got a little stadium, and, you know, the fans get into it. I mean, nothing like Phil Welch. Phil Welch is the best. You know, the fans here are great. And, yeah, nobody compares to that, but I'd say the second best got to be Carroll.
Pitts popped it up in foul territory, but Thornhill not able to grab it. What have you thought so far of your teammate pitchers batting tonight? You know, do you have somebody, you know, favorite stance? You know, have you been giving tips to any of the guys? You know,
I do have my batting gloves out to Bronco Witt.
Okay.
He's borrowing my batting gloves. I think Busby, he's probably got the best pitcher swing, though. I mean, he's got a good swing.
Yeah.
He's got some pop in that bat. I mean, he hit that line drive earlier. I mean, he looked good up there, so.
Yeah. Double back in the first at Busby as Pitts draws the full count
Close
walk.
one.
Third time Sam Pitts has reached here tonight with the one-out walk in the fifth.
Harrington's got a good swing, too. I mean, he gets out there. I mean, he's a competitor, man. He gets up there, and whatever he's doing, he finds a way to show out. So I like Harrington here finding the barrel.
Find the barrel. First pitch to him. Upstairs for a ball. Now, I got to ask, did you pitch in high school? Because it has seemed like some of these guys did do both. So I was just wondering if it's just one of those things once if you were to get up there on the mound, could you start just pumping in strikes?
I did. They gave me a chance whenever the last time was. I mean, that was a good time. I did pitch in high school quite a bit. Had a chance to pitch in college. I seem to always have arm problems. You know, I got Tommy John, so I've always had arm problems, right, when it gets time to get on the mound. But I'm going to try to again this year.
Now, if don't mind asking about your surgery, but did they have to go in and take a part of somewhere else to put it in the elbow, or were they able to put what was in the elbow back together?
They did. So they took the ligament out of my wrist, the palmaris ligament out of my wrist, and put it in there. I got the full Tommy John.
How long was your recovery?
It was 9 months, so I missed my last spring. Played this last spring, but so 2 springs ago I missed it. Pretty unfortunate, but you know, we're back and getting after it.
Yeah. Still at Hillsborough Community College, or are you looking for somewhere else?
So I'm planning to go to Arkansas Tech down in Russellville, playing that conference. You know, they just got off a good year, so definitely looking forward to that.
So now it brings up Aaron Harrington, who Tyler here in the booth with us. Up 3-1, probably getting a fastball to hit, you'd have to think.
Boom.
Skies one out deep center field.
Get over his head.
Back is
There
big,
we
and
go.
it's over his head. Second double of the night for Harrington, and it puts 2 in scoring position with only 1 out for Gage Busby. And Tyler, it's one of those things, you know, playing a game like this tonight against the Allstars, but then you guys have Clorinda coming in tomorrow. Was there something, you know, in the clubhouse, in the group, you know, wanting to show out tonight, but also knowing the importance of staying locked in, knowing what is ahead of you tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, whenever we get on the field, you know, we expect to win, and nobody's really intimidating us, and obviously Clorinda's doing okay, so you know, it'll just be a fun matchup. You know, go compete against somebody, and you know, they do run their program pretty first class, so I got a lot of respect for them. But they're going to come out to Phil Welch tomorrow, and we're going to give them, you know, what they're supposed to get here, and send them on their way.
Busby, so far today, 1 for 1, RBI double back in the first, and drew a walk in the third. Has a chance to drive in a couple more. Get those runs back. The All-Stars scored in the top half of the fifth. Now, Tyler, walk me through. When you're in the box facing a pitcher, you know, is there a certain mindset, what you're thinking, or are you just looking for something to hit? I mean, talk especially the viewers at home. Talk us through what is your mindset at the plate?
You know, honestly, I mean, I think it's just trying to clear your mind as best you can. You know, sometimes it can get. There we go.
Busby will reach for the third time on the infield single as Sam Pitts didn't try to test it going home.
But anyway, you can get a lot of thoughts going at once. So I think it's just finding a state of mind where it's really calm, relaxed, and you know you're in that hitter's mode. You know, hitters call it, and you're just able to show up and compete the same way at bat to at bat. I mean, it's a long season, so not letting the results of your last at bat, dictate how you go about your business the next at bat, and I think that's just living in the moment, and I think that's the key to hitting.
Now with the bases loaded will be Landon Reith. Has driven in one so far, and he's first pitch swinging, but it's lined and snared by Picara. Made a couple nice plays Picara has out there at second. Reith will now be 0 for 3 as now brings up Andrew Clark. Now I gotta ask, do you hang out with a lot of the guys post-game, like before games, or what does it look like once the team disperses here from Phil Welch? You guys get together, play golf, work out together. What does it look like?
Oh yeah, we hang out every night. There's always something going on. A lot of ping pong going on. We just had our ping pong rankings come out. I mean, those are. I'm at second right now, so I'm trying to make sure I'm at first.
Now, who is the best ping pong player on the team?
I mean, I got to go with myself. Cade Perkins puts up a good game. Landon Reith puts up a good game. Bronco Witt puts up a good game. But I'm still putting myself first any day of the week.
Now, I got to ask, maybe who's the weakest? If you want to call out anybody, you can stay between all six of us that are here in the booth.
That's tough, man. The worst of the worst. I'm going to have to go, man.
Maybe not just necessarily worse, but someone who doesn't play often.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I'll go with Chris Springs, man. He gets in there sometimes. Chris Springs gets in there and plays ping pong. I mean, it's just not pretty.
Chris Springs, the equipment manager, but Clark grounds out to end the inning. Well, Tyler, it was a pleasure having you on.
Yeah, thank you guys very much.
Good luck the rest of the season. We look forward to seeing the results that come from it. Mustangs strand the bases loaded. We're headed to the top of the 6th here at Phil Welch, still 5-2.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Welcome back into the top of the 6th inning. We're going to continue our player interviews. I'm Jackson Phelps, joined in with Justin George. Justin, how we doing today?
Good. How you doing, man?
Doing all right. We're here in the top of the 6th. How's tonight been? It's a bit of a different, atmosphere and environment. Got the batters pitching and the pitchers hitting and fielding. How's that been, watching some of your fellow teammates doing that?
Hey, tonight's been a blast. I mean, these pitchers, they could swing it, man.
Yeah.
They could swing it. And, you look at them and talk to a lot of them, and most of these pitchers swung it pretty well in high school and had a lot of success. So, I mean, it's fun watching them out there. They're loving it. So.
Yeah, you got to love it. You're coming over from William Jewell, correct? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
How's that last spring been for you?
It was good, man. It was fun. A lot of success over there, and I like playing for Jewell over there. So it was a good time. I'm excited to go back.
Yeah, we were just kind of talking last inning to Gundlefinger about, the stadiums and the environments in the Mink. You got a favorite stadium other than Phil Welch you like playing at?
Dude, honestly, man, the turf does it for me. I think I'd have to go with Sedalia.
Sedalia?
I mean, they got a nice setup. Don't get a lot of fans, but, like the playing surface, the turf, I mean, the way the ball flies, I mean, it's a good place to play over there. So I like it over there.
Gotta love to hear it. You guys are pretty big into ping pong is what I'm hearing.
Yep.
We heard Gundlefinger's there. So do you got a favorite, or a top ping pong player that you know in the clubhouse?
I mean, I'm always seeing Gage and Bronco playing. I mean, they play they'll play for hours at a day. I don't even try to play with these guys because I know I'll just get smoked. But yeah, Gage and Bronco are fun to watch. I mean, the spin they're putting on this stuff is insane. I mean, I'm sitting back watching it. They get pissed if we accidentally get close to the table or hit the ball. Like they're super serious. So it's a good time to just sit back and watch.
And who's one of the worst in the clubhouse? You know,
Oh, it's got to be me. It's got to be me and Springs.
Oh, no way. You're going to put yourself down?
Yeah,
like
I'll
that?
put myself on there. Yeah, it's got me and Springs. I mean, Springs isn't good at a lot of things though.
So now we got to have a battle between you two to see
me
who
and
is
Springs.
the,
Yeah.
See who is the
yeah.
bottom two.
I mean, I hope I don't lose that one.
The
there,
mid-off.
You never know.
So, continuing some of these questions, you know, for the fans to get to know you, you know, you're not from around the Midwest. You know, you're out from Arizona. You know, what's that been like going from, you know, out west to the Midwest now?
Yeah, I mean, the summers out here, it's a lot different than it would be like in Arizona. It's almost comparable, just the different heats. I mean,
Yeah.
Arizona's obviously a dry heat for people that have been there, and it's just kind of like an oven heat. And out here, it's just humid. Like it's so humid and hot at the same time.
It is.
So like out here might even be worse. I mean, they both take getting used to. I don't know if you really get used to it, but out here, the humidity, it's different, man. The amount of sweat that you'll have out here just from stepping outside for 5 minutes is unheard of. But
Felix is going to get the strikeout now. 2 quick outs. And, you know, Justin, we see you play first a lot. You know, if there's any kids out there who, you know, want to bat, 3-4 hole and play first, you know, what's some words of advice or some, wisdom you can give to some young players wanting to, be like you one day?
I mean, honestly, I'd say get in the weight room, man. Get in the weight room. Everybody wants a strong 3-4 hole that can get the ball out. And I mean, honestly, that's what changed my game is just getting in the weight room, getting strong.
Love to hear it.
So that's probably the best piece of advice I'd give. Yep.
Swing and a miss there, and Felix, getting to see, some of your fellow teammates, if you have gotten to see some more throughout the season, who would you give, a batting award to a pitcher or vice versa to a batter who's a pitcher? Who would you say would be the best at each one?
I mean, it's tough. I mean, I don't know. I might give – Gundy was saying Gage has got a good swing. I like watching Gage swing it. Harry, I don't know if we can really give it to him because he really was a swinger for a while.
Yeah.
He hit here, 2 summers ago, whatever it was, and he had a lot of success. So Harry's obviously good. Gage can swing it. Probably those 2 guys, man.
As Don Felix is going to get them going down, looking on 3 strikes, and we're headed to the bottom of the 6th inning. I was joined by Justin. Justin, thank you so much for coming on, and we're going to get some more player interviews for you guys. But to the bottom of the 6th, it'll be Truman taking back over. Again, I've been Jackson Phelps. We'll be back here on YouTube.
Jake Bigham is the third pitcher of the night for the All-Stars, but we're now joined by Darius Freeman here up in the booth. And Darius, how are we doing tonight? We talked about this, but it's kind of more casual night for you, mainly position players. Are you really enjoying it and the atmosphere out tonight?
Yeah, it's good, have a good day off, watch the pitchers, get some at-bats, They work hard for us, so, it's good them getting back in the box like Little League days, get some swings off.
So leading off this inning will be, for the Mustangs, will be Max Pitts. And Darius, I got to ask, a little bit of a slow start to the season for you, but you've really caught fire these past couple weeks. You hit your first homer this past road trip. What is anything different, or, if you just continue to do much of the same and the ball has just been going to the places that they aren't catching it?
Yeah, baseball is a game of failure. 3 out of 10 times, if you succeed 3 out of 10 times, you're a Hall of Famer technically. So just keeping the same approach, just going up there, keeping level mind, just trying to put the ball in play, good things happen, catch a barrel.
Max Pitts now leads the count 3-1. And Darius, you're one of those guys. It's multiple years here with the Mustangs. What is there anything that just keeps bringing you back here, up to St. Joe, up here to Phil Welch?
Yeah, the fans. I love the fans, the kids, the atmosphere. They really love their baseball out here. It's a once in a experience lifetime, as far as a college athlete. You know what I'm saying? I'm blessed to be here.
Pitts works the walk. Now brings up Bronco Witt. Witt so far today, he struck out swinging and walked and scored.
Fastball. Yeah, there we go.
You like that? You like that read there from Pitts?
Yeah,
you
yeah.
like that read?
It was a little late, but we working. He's a pitcher, so he's good. You know what I'm saying? He got to second base. We in scoring position, no outs. We got to do a job here. Who is it? Is Bronco?
It's Bronco.
Oh, I trust Bronco.
Okay, yeah. He did get some at bats in that alumni game a couple weekends ago. So
he did. I got a Buka right here. Buka.
1-0 upstairs, 2-0.
Throwing away from him.
Big Ham struggling to find the zone. I got to ask Darius, are you getting any hits off? We've seen Dom out there on the mound. We saw Trevor McCollum start this game. If you're up there in the batter's box, are you getting any hits off him?
Oh, a lot of barrels. Gap shots.
Bronco will be retired, but he advances the runner over to third. So quality at bat, even though he didn't necessarily get the run in.
Yeah, for sure. Works as a sac bunt.
Now 1 out. Brings up Michael and Franca, playing second base tonight. Has a chance to drive home the Mustangs' 6th run of the evening.
Got to get it done. Infield back, hit something up the middle, stay away from the corners, hit the ball in the air to the outfield. Just getting the job done.
Is that what's kind of going through your head? Talk us through. You kind of just said it, but you're in this situation. Does your approach change anything, or are you just trying, again, like you said, just to find a way to drive in a run?
Hey, I'm just trying to hit the ball hard somewhere but the corners. No, anywhere but third, first, and the pitcher scores a run. So, it's up the middle approach. Something you can handle up in the zone. Probably going to try and pitch down in the zone. But didn't execute right there, to be honest.
Now I got to ask you, do you have a favorite Mustangs memory playing? Probably so many games, so many at-bats. Is there anything that really sticks out to you, or a couple things about what you've just enjoyed? As that one ripped.
That's a barrel.
And that's down for a hit. Michael and Franca going to make the turn. And he's in there safely with an RBI double.
That's good. What's the double celly?
Do you have a go-to double celly?
I got a couple. Sometimes I like to, the around town, point to where I hit it. I got a golf swing sometimes. Yeah. The Randy Rosarani, point to the dugout, then cross your arms. Sometimes I like to do a cell phone.
Really just depends on how you're feeling.
Type.
Now
Little yeet from Matt Ziesel himself, the one and only.
Gets the team hyped pregame.
Oh, no cap. 1 word, 2 letters, ha, ha.
That'll be Jace Johnson. Johnson singled twice, but been stranded in scoring position both times. Darius, I gotta ask, if you were out there on the mound, what are you touching? You touching 90?
Today, no.
Today, no. Okay.
Probably like a cool 67.
Got anything you'd pull out of your bag? You know, any
I'll probably throw
unique
lefty.
pitches?
I'll throw lefty.
Throw lefty.
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure, for sure.
Franco on second after the RBI double. 1 home already in the inning.
That's a ball.
Now Johnson ahead 3-0. Darius, now you're coming off an all-Mink first-team selection after last summer. Is that still in your mind, trying to maybe one-up that season you had last summer, or are you just, again, going out there and playing your style of game every day?
I'm just going out there playing my style of ball every day. To be honest, I didn't know I was first team until about 2 months after the season, till my mom told me. But I don't know. Just like baseball, you know. Not worried about the accolades.
Not worried about the accolades. Now, another thing, talking more defense. You've played multiple outfield positions. Do you have a favorite?
Center field.
Center field, you like just kind of being the captain out there, and Roman is taking
Yeah.
off for third,
I
no
like
throw.
to roam. It's just a lot of roaming. Just go for any ball I want. You just get to run. You ask any center fielder on this team, even Logan Miller, who is also in this booth. It's just fun to run.
Logan Miller's nodding his head. Agreeing with Darius' statement as Johnson draws the walk on base for the third time, and now it'll be Cade Perkins.
Many men wish death upon me. I like that walk-up. It fits him very well.
Gets jammed, but slow roller.
That does a job.
And he'll drive in a run.
That's an RBI.
Perkins drives in his first run as Infranca comes around
Yes,
to
sir.
score. Now the 7th run of the game for the Mustangs.
That's the first RBI of the night?
For Perkins.
Oh, okay.
I gotta ask, what's your favorite kind of activity outside of the ballpark that you like to do? You know, you got any hobbies besides baseball?
Yeah, I like to play basketball. Also, I've really gotten back into fishing a little bit.
That one ripped through the hole. Diego de Santiago's gonna drive in a run with an RBI single.
We love it.
Now
We love
8
it.
home in the game and the 3rd home of the inning.
We love it.
Did you like that swing?
Yeah. Did a job. You just try to catch a barrel, hit a ball hard. That's all you can do in this game. After you hit it, you can't control it.
But yeah, going back to your hobbies, you know, really into basketball. Do you play with a lot of the guys here on the team, or do you just?
No, I haven't played out here so much, actually at all. We're really busy when we play games. Road. Oh, we're just
Now
barrel
Ashton
city right
Nance
now.
rips one to center, and it's going to get past the outstretched glove.
Score, Diego.
De
Score, Diego.
Santiago's going to make the turn. He's rumbling home, and he'll be in there
Oh,
standing.
yeah.
Run number 9, and now taking
Oh.
off for third is going to be Nance.
Oh, he's out.
And he's going to be easily cut down, tried the swim move.
Hey, we still scored a
That did
run.
not
That's
work.
9-2. Yes,
Run
sir.
still scores 4 home in the inning as the Mustangs now lead 9-2 as we are 2/3 of the way through this game. Darius, I thank you for joining us.
I appreciate you for having me. Thank y'all, fans. We love y'all. We love y'all.
Lead increases 7. We're headed to the 7th here at Phil Welch. 9-2.
What's up, Mustangs Nation? It's Easton Philippi. I'm here with Jaden Little.
Yo, what's up, guys?
We're gonna be announcing this inning. we got Dom Felix on the bump, usually a third baseman, but he throws like 98.
This
around
guy
there,
throws
but
gas, man. I gotta say, Dom's probably one of the strongest arms we got on the team, and is probably about our best candidate to have out there on the mound right now.
You know what? I really like that right there.
I mean, first pitch strike right in the zone. 0-1 to this hitter. Top of the 7th here at Phil Welch, by the way. Great crowd for this evening. It's a little toasty out here, a little hot, but it's always a good night here at Phil Welch. We always have a good time.
Let's see.
Ball low in the dirt there, 1-1. So Easton, it's your first summer here, man. What do you think? What do you like about St. Joe? You know, just your whole overview of everything going on. What do you think about it, man?
Oh, what a play by
it's,
Max
It's
Pitts.
a lot more
Sorry.
fun than
Sorry
I
to
thought
interrupt.
it was gonna be.
Sorry to
you
interrupt,
know.
but hell of a play there by
That
Max
was
Pitts.
that was
Heck of a play there.
it was a heck of a play by
Heck of a
Pitts
play
there.
there.
He's looking like a natural. I can tell he played some shortstop in high school, but it's a lot of fun getting to play in front of this crowd every day. Usually on the road, I mean, seeing like 40 fans, that's not as fun, but you know, whenever we play at home, it's a fun time.
Oh yeah, it's always fun here at Phil Welch, man. We have a good time. That ball's fouled straight back. But so what do you think, man? It's, you know, it's here in St. Joe. Obviously, as you were saying, compared to others, it's more of a professional environment, I would say, compared to the other places. So do you like it? Do you like the spotlight? Do you not like it? Are you more of a shy guy? What do you think?
You know, I really do like it. At the start, you know, I was a little nervous playing in front of these people. I thought I had to play good every game, or else I was gonna get yelled at, you know. But it seems that these fans are pretty chill. They just like coming to watch baseball. And another great play by
Great
Pitts at
play
third
by
base
Max
there.
Pitts. Max Pitts, former shortstop in high school, I believe, is making
But see, I can
third
see
base
that.
just look like it was his position his whole life. It's unreal. But yeah, man, I agree with you. You know, it's been fun. I love it here in the summer. You know, you don't always have to play great for these guys, but it makes you want to when there's
Oh, yeah.
this amount of people out here. So
You don't want to disappoint these people that spend a hard-earned money to come
Hard-earned
out
money,
and watch
man.
us play. You know?
exactly. We got two down here in the top of the 7th. Dom Felix looking for a 1-2-3. He
Ooh.
gets ahead in the count there on a big swing and a miss.
I haven't really seen much off-speed out of Dom Felix since being in this game.
You know, I don't know if he's got much off speed to him. I think it's just all fastballs. Here it is.
Ooh.
Have at it. There it is again. Fastball in that time on him. Big swing and a miss again. Let's see what he goes with here 0-2. He's playing in for the slider here. Let's see what we got. Back to the
Goes
gas.
another
A
fastball
little more in.
I'm liking the way he's challenging these hitters, though.
Oh, yeah.
He's
I
trying to
mean,
make them beat him, and
if
it's
I
working.
threw as hard as Dom Felix, I would just throw fastballs, if I'm being honest. As he goes back to the fastball again, a little high and tight. He's missing arm side here. I think he's trying to number chase on that radar gun, which you got to respect it.
yeah, he's a little amped up knowing this is probably his last batter. As I think that might have been the slider
That might
there.
have been the slider right
I think
there.
that was the slider there. That was a good pitch, great take by the hitter.
Good
but
call by Jace Johnson.
I think he knows this could be his last pitch of the day. He's probably going to rear back and try to throw this one as hard as he can.
There it is, in the dirt.
Great block by Jace
Ball
Johnson.
forward, good block.
An underappreciated catcher, Jace Johnson is.
You
Made some
know,
good plays in that.
He's just one of those guys. And no, now that I'm looking at it, I don't think that's Jace Johnson.
Is that not?
I don't think that's Jace Johnson. No, that's not.
You know, I'm going to say it isn't either. That's not Jace Johnson.
I'm going to be honest. I don't know who that is, but whoever that is, that was a heck of a block.
Well, anonymous catcher, that was a great work. That was great work by you, man.
Anonymous catcher. That's his new name, Anonymous Catcher.
Anonymous catcher.
Yeah.
You got him there.
Dom Felix looking to close out. I believe this is his 3rd inning in relief.
That's a great pitch. Did he go? And he did.
Yes, he did go on the appeal.
I'm liking this batter here. He looks like he has a strong approach up the plate.
This guy looks like he's looking to park one into the old Rec Center parking lot out here if we're not careful. So we better, we might want to lay off the fastballs for this maybe and just give him some sliders. Maybe he'll get himself out. If not, we'll take our chances with the next guy.
Is he swinging the glow stick there?
It almost looks like a metal bat. It's so
It does.
bright.
haven't
Dom's
seen a
struggling
wood
to find
bat.
the zone a little bit here, though. We got a little 2-1 count now after walking the previous hitter. He's falling behind here. You know, we're looking for some strikes out of this guy, trying to make the game go a little quicker, but he's falling behind. As there it is. Oh,
Ooh,
ball
that
up.
I thought that was there.
You know,
And this crowd's getting a little chippy there. I think they might have thought that was there
I
too.
think the fans thought that was a strike also. Do you ever get back there? I know you're a catcher. You ever get back there and argue with the umpire a little bit? Let him know what you saw, what you were thinking?
I don't really argue with him. I'll ask him where the pitches are at just to know how bad he missed it.
Yeah.
You know, because sometimes it'll be a pitch that if it missed anywhere, it's probably missed off the play outside, and then umpire will say it missed low or high, and I really question who we hired to be umpires here.
Yeah,
after they
you
say
know,
that.
man, I would be a lying man if I said I've never argued with an umpire here, especially this year. There's been a few instances this year. There's ball 4 again to Dom, but
Another 2-out walk for Dom here.
we do appreciate and love our umpires here, but, you know, sometimes you just got to question what's going on. You know, there's a few outrageous things, and you just question it. But it's all in fun. We all have a good time. We try to not get on them too much.
That's just a part of baseball.
It is
at
what
the
it is,
at
man.
the end of the day, it's all love.
It's all part of it. I believe we got a courtesy runner right here.
Courtesy runner
I don't
coming
think
in
he wants to
for
come off
that
the
guy.
bags, though, man.
No, he
He's set.
doesn't. He wants to run.
He wants. Oh no,
Oh.
there he goes. He's going now. He wanted to run. He was staying. He wanted to test the limits of his coach, see if he'd let him stay out there. But I think coach is going to make the final decision there and tell him to go ahead and head back to the dugout after that. Get at bat. But we got 2 down here, first and second. Dom Felix trying to work through this 3rd inning here as he finally gets ahead to his guy. 0-1 on a foul ball down the right side.
So, Jaden, how does the crowd here compete with the crowd at Lincoln University for this?
Well, that's a heck of a question, and I will say that at Lincoln, you know, the crowd is not like this. You know, I've been a part of some crowds here where there's been 7,000 people, and I think we're just a few shy of that over at Lincoln. But, you know, you going to Wichita State next year, that might be a different story for you.
Yeah, I'm really hoping it's gonna be a packed crowd. But this past season, Wichita didn't have the greatest season, so the crowd really wasn't there a whole lot. Kind of looks like an off day at St. Joe, like
Yeah.
probably around 1,000 people usually. But when they're playing good, they can get up to around 10,000.
Yeah, well, there you
So
go.
I'm hoping
Foul
that
ball.
that's gonna be the case when I go.
I hear they're looking for a catcher to turn that thing around, so I think he might be their guy.
I'm hoping.
Go
That-
in there.
That's
make
my
an impact.
plan. Go in there, make a big statement as a freshman, and
Oh,
get some
yeah,
playing time.
Absolutely. The 0-2 pitch by Dom. Ball outside. Dom looks like he's really wearing it out there on that mound right now, man. He's looking tired. You know, I can't blame him. He's, again, a third baseman, doesn't really get to throw a whole lot. And
Oh,
he's-
there it is.
And ball up the middle.
To Clark, he will
Slow
make the
roller.
play.
Clark takes it. No, he doesn't touch the bag, and he's safe at first base. He's off the base. I don't know what I just watched. We managed to make 2 errors on one play without having an error. I don't know what happened there. That was I'll say an interesting choice by Andrew Clark to try to take that slow roll to second base and then not touch the second base and then try to go to first. And Landon Reith, our first baseman, wasn't even on the bag. So that was kind of bad all around there. So
The first pitch by Dom is a ball outside. He's going to need to pound the zone here.
got to
Try to get this guy out with 2 outs. Don't want to allow a walk to score a run here with 2 outs.
These bats have helped him out, man, giving him a lead. There he goes, back in the zone. Foul ball, evens it up at 1-1. But these bats have given him a lead, man. And, you know, the thing is, when you get a lead like this, you just got to throw strikes, make them earn it. Don't let yourself beat you whenever you get a lead like this. As that's a slow roller over
Clark
towards
will get another
again.
chance.
He's going to get another
Throw
chance.
to
Throws
first.
across.
Oh.
He's safe.
And he's going home.
He's also
And-
safe. Scored 2 runs on an infield single. Andrew Clark showing you kids what not to do at shortstop right now. A few questionable decisions by 29 out there at shortstop. And because of that, they're going to score 2 on that infield single.
You know, I'm hearing these walk-up songs for the opposing teams every night. What are your thoughts on them? Do you like them, or do you think they should switch it up a
I
little bit?
actually have a question on this one right here. Is it saying Fortnite, or what's going on? As Dom, for some reason, goes into the windup and allows the runner to steal from second to third.
I think we might need a mound visit here. I think Coach Mack might need to come out there and talk to Dom, try to reset him out there, catch his breath.
Breaking news, Mustangs Nation. I see it down the line. It looks like Chris Springs is getting ready for an at-bat. He has a bat.
Oh,
He's
yes.
swinging. He's getting ready. I think that we have a Chris Springs plate appearance tonight.
Springs is actually one of the top prospects for the Mustangs
That's-
and their lower-level teams, and
Yeah.
he just got called up today, and it looks like he's going to get a chance to play. So
Coach brought him up for this specific reason. I think they want him to get an AB. I mean, it's got to be a high-leverage situation whenever he comes in, though. You don't want to waste a bat like that early in the inning. So we'll see what kind of
that's hit
appearance
hard
he
to
gets,
Franca at second,
right
makes
at
the
Franca,
play,
runs over to
and
first almost and throws him out. So
that'll be the inning for the Mustangs. Got out of there with only giving up 2.
working through some turmoil, but looks like Dom's going to get out of it, and we're going to see if he goes out the next inning. But we will see you guys after the 7th inning stretch.
Bottom 7 here at Phil Welch. Back with you after got to hear Jaden Little and Easton Philippi with a little play-by-play in color. I'm Truman Griesel, joined alongside with me Jackson Phelps. If you're just joining us and you missed it, I'd encourage you to fast back behind us. There's Chris Springs, the equipment manager, getting it at bat. And on one hop, he grounds out to Picara at second. But Chris Springs, I mean, he ripped it. Just couldn't poke it over Picara over there at second.
First pitch swinging, feeling confident. Got a ball on the bat, and you just love to see it from Chris Springs, the equipment manager. We saw him getting some good rips in BP. First pitch, I mean, a lot of the crowd, loved to see it. What a job by Mr. Chris Springs. Just getting a barrel on the ball.
Now it'll be Sam Pitts. Like I was saying, if you just joined us, I encourage you to go back in our past stream, hear our interviews. We got Tyler Gundelfinger up here in the booth, Justin George, Darius Freeman. Just got to hear their thoughts again. You ever make it out to a game, these players, they're very fan-friendly, and they love talking to fans, signing autographs. But in the event, you don't get to necessarily talk with them. You can hear really what's going on, what they like, what their hobbies are, their favorite Mustangs memories, what they just do kind of on their normal day-to-day life. I mean, outside of baseball, and especially with as packed a season it is, only a few hours for them to get their real hobbies in. But Pitt's ahead 2-1. 1 out in the inning. Lead has been cut back down to 5. After 2 runs scored on an infield single, is now 3-1 to Pitts. Is outside, and the second walk Pitts has taken, and the 4th time he's reached base.
Yeah, nice job by Pitts. Got himself in a 3-1 count. Wasn't looking for too much, and he got what he wanted in a walk on the outside half. And you'd love to see it from these batters. They're doing good, and just kind of hit off your point with the players. I mean, it's so cool to be able to have that kind of interactions between us, the fans, and the players. It's just one big family here out at Phil Welch.
Now the Aaron Harrington, who's ripped a couple of doubles in his last 2 at-bats and has also walked and scored a run. Bigham's first pitch catches the corner. Pitts out of Cochise Community College. Seen him start a few games, but he's come out of the bullpen and been highly successful his last couple of appearances, showing he can do both for this squad. Count even at a ball and a strike. Harrington took a big rip at it, but came up with nothing but air. Harrington spent time at Missouri Southern, but currently weighing his options on where he will play college ball next year. Got roughed up a little bit in his last start after he had a 0 ERA through 14 innings. Jeff City came in here last Friday, put it on him, got squeezed a little bit in the zone, and labored a bit. Is now takes a changeup low and outside, 2-2. That 2-2 swung on and missed. So Harrington is retired for the first time tonight. Now there are 2 outs in the inning for Gage Busby.
Yeah, Harrington, put some good swings, but just unlucky there not to catch the barrel, and that'll happen. Darius Freeman, like he once said up here in the interviews, baseball's all about the game of failure. And, most of these pitchers who are batting tonight are realizing that, hey, being a batter, it's pretty tough, and, you're going to fail more times than you succeed, and for that there for Harrington, good swings, though. I like what I'm seeing so far from these pitchers.
It's Tyler Gundelfinger who's talking about that with batting, it's being able to make adjustments on the fly, at bat to at bat, pitch to pitch. So now it's Gage Busby. Busby 2 for 2, RBI double back in the first, and he's also walked and singled. Now the 1-1 to Busby. Flares one down the right field line, but out of play. Now down in the count, 1-2.
Busby they were talking about probably has the best swing here for these pitchers, but you know, he's looking pretty decent so far, putting on some nice swings.
Mustangs 9 runs on 8 hits, 1 error. Allstars 4 runs, 3 hits, 4 errors. Now the 1-2 again to Busby. He pops it up, back behind first, down the right field line, and out of play again, basically the same exact spot. He hit that last foul ball, and he stays alive. That one low in the dirt gets away from Thornhill. It allows Pitts to move up into scoring position now with 2 outs.
Nice job by Pitts, realizing that it got out of the glove. A little bit of a late reaction, but how can you blame him? I mean, it was a late reaction by the catcher to miss it, and now runner in scoring position. Busby, all he has to do is poke one out.
Another 2-2 offering upstairs and swung on and missed. First time Busby's been retired tonight. Back-to-back strikeouts by Bigham. 1 man left. No hits in the inning. No runs across. We're headed to the 8th. 9-4 Stangs. Parker Griffith makes the 60-foot, 6-inch trek out to the mound to take over for Dom Felix after Felix goes 3 innings, giving up 4 earned runs, but also having himself 6 strikeouts. So Griffith takes over. He gets the 2-3-4 hitters, and Ethan Bayer, Brooke Baller, and Jake Bigham. All-Stars showed some fight against Felix, able to scratch across 4, still find themselves down by 5, but down to their final 6 outs. Bayers pops one up. First base side. Harrington will just watch it go out of play.
Yeah, you know, nice outing, you know, put on by Felix. You know, just gave up a couple of runs, but, you know, what can you expect? You can't expect too much perfection from these guys. You know, they don't get that much playing time and reps in at the pitching mound, and you just got to, you know, tip the cap to them for just putting it across the plate and feeling confident.
Griffith behind Toonan. Griffith a Bearcat, Northwest Missouri State. Currently on his season, first time we've seen him on the mound. At the plate, he's hitting 241, 13 hits, team leading, and 2 homers, and also has driven in 10 runs and walked 15 times. So he's been able to get it done at the dish. Now he gets a chance to get it done on the mound. Oh, that one skied out to center towards Chris Springs. Springs running over, but he'll be called off by Bronco Witt, who makes the catch for out number 1 here in the 8th.
Hey, I gotta give him credit out there. Springs had a nice rip, good guess on the ball. Went right at it, wasn't afraid. He was ready to go take it, but who knows? Springs out there might be able to make a play or two. That was a nice swing put on, and looking to see how much more reps we can see out of Mr. Springs.
Well, the long run for Springs, and Witt just had to move a few steps to his left, so we called him off as Chris Springs, the equipment manager here for the Mustangs, and not only a player favorite, but definitely a fan favorite. A guy brings us, no matter how your day had been, you walk through the gates, you see him, interact with him, it just brings a smile to your face. So now it's Brooke Baller, who's 0 for 1. He struck out looking all the way back in the first, and his last time up, he walked in the 5th. That one runs inside and will hit Baller, so he's on for the 2nd time in a row with a 1-out hit by pitch.
Griffith wanted the direction. He was trying to plate the inside wide on the plate, but just missed on the release, and that'll put it Baller on with just an out, looking to continue to chip back at this Mustangs lead.
That'll be Drew Pecora. He's 0 for 2. He struck out both his times at the plate. Griffith a slow windup, kind of just tossing it in there. Not trying to overwork his arm, as that's one of the kind of things fans don't realize about catching is those catchers are throwing every pitch back to the pitcher, so it may not be the same velocity, but that arm is still getting plenty of use out of it as he's now ahead of Pecora here. 1-2. 1-2 offering. Popped foul. Stays alive. Pecora, one of the All-Stars with a nice head of hair.
Oh, yeah.
Big flow going on.
Love it.
Love a guy with some flair. Nice mullet action, almost looks like what's going on.
Another 1-2. Upstairs, 2-2 now. Griffith has appeared in 17 games so far this season. He's had 54 at-bats. Out of his 13 hits, 3 extra base hits. Talked about those 2 homers. He's also clubbed a double. He started the first 8 games, then once Easton Philippi got here to St. Joe, they've been definitely splitting time with the catching duties. Easton Philippi and Jane Little were on the top half of the 7th. Doing a little commentary action and giving Jackson and myself a break. Wasn't bad.
They did pretty good.
They weren't bad.
They did pretty good. Little having some of that nice knowledge, being out here at Phil Welch a couple of times and getting to know the youngster Easton as well.
So a full count offering upstairs, ball 4. So after the first batter out, retired by Griffith, he's now hit a batter, now walked a batter. I mean, I think that's what they say. The best color commentators are those guys who have played at the highest levels.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Tony Romo, Greg Olson,
Tom
Brady.
Yeah.
A lot of those guys, those former players, I mean, it's what it is, color commentary, the why behind what happens, and those guys are just able to give you the insights, what those players are thinking. So now here's Corey Blake, 0 for 2 as well. Grounded out to Andrew Clark and struck out swinging against Dom Felix. Griffith a little frustrated out there right now. Thought those last couple pitches caught the corner. Hasn't getting the call.
They looked good, you know, especially that last one on the outer half. Just going through his mind, you know, he just wants to put another strike on the board.
Does put a strike, lightly tapped Griffith over. He'll just underhand flip it to Harrington to retire Blake for the second out here in the 8th.
Did exactly what he needed to do. You know, you got him on the inner half, jammed him, made a nice flip too. You know, Griffith being the catcher, you know, he's all about jumping on top of the ball right in front of the plate and did a nice job there. 2 runners on in scoring position, but now with 2 outs, Griffith can kind of breathe and just kind of worry about the guy that's stepping foot in the batter's box now and see if he can get out of this one with no runs.
Is Jackson Gregory looking to put the ball in play. 2 strikeouts on his line so far tonight. He's first pitch swinging, popped up behind the plate. Out of the reach to Jace Johnson. Johnson guy recently featured on our Mic'd Up series, courtesy of 2025 intern Charlie Sample. Encourage you viewers to go after this stream, go out and check that video out. Just gives you kind of what goes on, what Jace Johnson, you know, does on a day off when he's not pitching, interacting with fans, having a good time. There's also one on Dom Felix. Weekly series of just getting mic'd up with your favorite Mustangs player. That one off the hands. Nice backhand by Griffith. He fires over to Harrington to retire the side. 1 walk, 1 hit by pitch in the inning, 2 runners left, but no runs for the All-Stars. We're headed to the bottom of the 8th, 9-4 here at Phil Welch. Brody Baller, the 5th All-Star pitcher of the night, takes over here in the bottom of the 8th. Just trying to keep the score right where it is. He'll face Landon Reith, Andrew Clark, and Max Pitts. Down by 5. And his offense, with only 3 outs left in this ballgame.
Just looking to continue to dominate. 9 runs on 8 hits. They're looking really good out here on their night.
His first pitch swinging is Reith. He pops it over. And it will land in foul territory, so new life. That one just missed over there by Blake. Just didn't get a good read on it and lost it in this twilight.
Yeah, it's a tough one to get, especially if you're not used to playing here in Phil Welch. And luckily for them, landed in foul territory gives them some extra life, like you mentioned.
This is actually new Mustang just on the team this week, Ian Dittmer out of Southwest Tennessee Community College. Donning the number 19 tonight. It's his first AB. Makes a big rip. Count evens at 2-2.
Got all the new faces coming into Phil Welch. Had two of them last couple of weeks with Ashton Nance and Easton Philippi, who we got to hear live on air. And these guys are definitely some of the more bright, and love the energy that they've been bringing.
Now the count goes full here to Dittmer. And he cuts on and misses at the high cheese. And comes up empty. First strikeout here for Baller. First out here in the 8th.
Yeah, good first at bat face for a Baller. Dittmer wanted to try and put something in play, just couldn't work out in his favor.
Now it'll be Landon Reith. Reith 0 for 3, but does have an RBI. A couple of those hits were nice squared up balls, but right at the second baseman, Pecora. Gotten robbed of a couple hits. He's first pitch swinging again. Blooped into right field, but on comes the right fielder Burnham to make the grab. And 2 quick outs here from Baller here in the 8th.
Yeah, just a good swing by Reith. He took the out and up. Out in the right field, exactly what you're taught to do. Just hung up a little bit too much. He was hoping that thing could fall. But a nice play out in the outfield. And now Andrew Clark looking to get something going with 2 outs for the Mustangs.
It is Clark. 0 for 3, but has an RBI. Made a couple nice plays at shortstop. He's also made a couple plays that have allowed runs to score, so definitely the highs and the lows of a normal high leverage pitcher playing at the most important position arguably on the baseball field. Granted, you could argue all the positions are equally as important.
Oh, definitely.
Finds himself down here 1-2 though. Able to lay off the breaking ball. Clark donning all the gear that one could don. He's got the oven mitt in his back pocket. He's got the leg guard, elbow guard, batting gloves, sleeves, eye black, chin guard. Got about every guard. Just you want to stay protective.
Oh,
especially,
yeah.
Maybe it's for just how he batted. Definitely an upright stance.
Love a man who's prepared.
He pops the full count pitch up back behind the plate. Allstars can't find it. It's right in front of the mound is Baller to make the grab. A 1-2-3 inning from Baller. We're headed to the 9th. Mustangs are 3 outs away from yet another victory. Mustangs 3 outs away from their 20th win of the season in just 23 games. Quite the impressive start. I mean, they are on 40-win watch.
Oh, man, they have been so consistent with their wins, and 20 is a mark to make.
It's the bottom middle of the All-Stars 13-man order. Austin Burnham get us started here in the 9th. He's ahead now 3-1. That 3-1 off the hands, grounded, bare hand play, tried for and whiffed on by Andrew Clark. Gets a chuckle up here in the booth. He tried to go with the bare hand play and completely missed it.
Yeah.
It's a leadoff single for Austin Burnham.
I'll bring that up on I'll bring that up for Friday to him. It was pretty hard hit. I don't know how nice that would feel on the hand, but you know, I gotta love some flash points. But Andrew, you gotta put that in the glove.
Now Brody Estes. He's 0 for 2. The Taco Bell came out of the night. So far, he has not given these fans anything to cheer about in terms of free food.
Not yet.
Plenty of taco chance. There goes Burnham to second. Throw down on the money. Cha-ching! Absolutely hosed is Burnham by Chase Johnson. And that's how the first out of the inning is recorded on the caught stealing.
Got his revenge. Clark made a nice tag, but an even better throw behind the dish. And now with 1 out, I mean, this is looking pretty good for these guys. But a nice tag from Clark.
Clark makes up for his trying to go for the flashy play as that breaking ball called strike 3. It had Estes backing out of the box, and he backed out to watch it go right down the middle, and there's something for the fans to cheer about as it is taco time at Phil Welch with 1 out to go.
What a pitch. Broke it from in and out, and you really like to see that as it's taco time. Tacos are going to be raining throughout Phil Welch, and now just 1 out away from win number 20.
The man that stands between the Mustangs and their 20th victory is Dan Montgomery, but there's going to be time as Chris Springs is going to check back in and go in at shortstop.
Yes.
Obviously, Johnny Coy saw that try and flashy play by Andrew Clark, and he had had enough.
Oh, man, that's amazing. Springs is going to hope the final out goes to him, but Coy looked at Andrew and was like, I don't like what I saw there. You just needed an out.
Got to get a pitch on the inner half and see if Montgomery can roll over, but he's down 0-2.
Athletic stance looking from Chris.
Break the tension with a knife. The 0-2, another breaking ball in there for strike 2. It's my mistake calling that previous pitch 0-2. Now it is officially 0-2. Tension building. Swung on and missed. Win number 20 in the books for the Mustangs. Saddle up, Mustangs Nation. It's a 9-4 winner here tonight.
I mean, they just made it look super easy. You have opposite day here at Phil Welch. You know, you have the batters go out and pitch, and the pitchers come out in the field and hit, and they made it look good. I mean, they looked really confident and really composed. It's like they've been here before, Truman. And I know tonight was for fun. You know, tonight was for laughs. And, you know, we had a great time up here in the booth getting to know some of the players. Got to have a players inning, letting Jaden Little and Easton Philippi come up and call some games. And that's really what tonight's been about. And, you know, it's been a fun time here at Phil Welch getting win number 20. But, you know, a tough game tomorrow. You're going to look at today and just be like, hey, this is a nice morale booster, you know, trying to get the chemistry up. But tough game tomorrow against Clarinda as they come to Phil Welch to open up, as I would say, the official homestand for these Mustangs. But tonight,
loved what I saw. I had the confidence boosted from both sides, defense and offense, and what a fun night, Truman.
Fun night indeed. Capital F-U-N. Fun.
Yes.
The Mustangs get their 20th win, 9-4 winner. They struck with 4 in the first and just kept on rolling. Trevor McCollum, 4 shutout innings to start. Only gave up 1 hit. Then Dom Felix, 3 innings, gave up 4 runs. Parker Griffith got an inning, but both teams shake hands in the middle of the field. Mutual respect between both sides, but as Jackson Phelps said, it's Mink League action the rest of this week. Clarinda tomorrow night in a showdown between the top 2 teams in the Mink League right now. And it should be a fun one as these 2 teams squared up earlier this season in Clarinda, and it was a tough back-and-forth game that saw Clarinda, both teams trade the lead before Clarinda was able to get a 2-run lead. Mustangs left a tying run stranded at third as after tomorrow against Clarinda, Carroll comes to town yet again, and then Sedalia rounds off the homestand. Gage Busby, your player of the game, 2 for 3 with a double and an RBI. And as well, Chris Springs with another great moment. But what a game, what an atmosphere in Jackson. We'll do it again tomorrow night.
I'm excited for it, Truman. We get to open up another Mink League week as well, and what a game it's going to be able to call with you against Clarinda. Like you mentioned, the 2 teams in the top of the Mink, battling it out, have gone back and forth between both times we've faced off. But it's going to be a fun rest of the week. What a kickoff here it is for Phil Welch on this homestand. But Stangs win and going home happy tonight, and looks are up for tomorrow.
Stangs do in fact win. We thank you for joining us tonight. All Mustangs live streams are archived on the youtube.com or YouTube app under the St. Joseph Mustangs page, clicking under the live tab or going under playlists and clicking Mustangs 2025. A lot of other fun content, reading with Rally, weekly Andrew Clark player vlog, weekly Mustangs mic'd up player, Fill in Time with Phil Welch podcast, Kai Turner podcast, Inside the Stables with Aiden Snyder. So much content, game highlights for all you viewers to enjoy, but we thank you for joining us. Mustangs win 9-4. We'll be back at it tomorrow night, 6:30. First pitch, your Mustangs and the Clarinda A's.